Morning everybody, it's Rob, Yoga Dads. Hope you're feeling well this morning. Managed to sleep in this heat that we had overnight that I must admit made me feel pretty restless. Really delighted to have you join me this morning for this summer stretch challenge session. We'll be continuing in a standing position today. It's so hot this morning that obviously we'll just take it at whatever pace works for you. And yeah, we'll be looking to stretch and move, looking to open up our shoulders and hips, and just really a whole body stretch, I suppose, as much as anything, really to provide that feel-good factor start to the day. I've just got the recycling lorries coming along the road, so there might be a little bit of background noise, so hopefully don't let that put you off. Just acknowledge it's there and just move on from it and that kind of thing. But anyway, let's get started. So we're going to start in a standing position, and just really, as we did yesterday, and just rocking from side to side and really feeling grounded down. Okay, but this way actually. Really feeling grounded down through the floor to either side of the foot and also forward and back. And just closing our eyes for a moment. As we do so, just turning our palms open, so thumbs away from the centre of the body, and just really feel that opening expansiveness across the chest and the shoulders, all along the front body. And that length that we're creating now, all the way along from the crown of the head, chin tucking in slightly towards the chest, length along the back body, and grounding down through the floor. So really rooting down through all four corners of the feet, almost imagining we're like that apple tree that's behind me this morning, reaching up to the sky and down through the ground. Nice soft gaze, open the eyes. We'll just start with some shoulder rolls. So as we've done before, just nice and gently, just forward and up, back and down. I'll just turn sideways on just for a moment, just so you can see that rotation of my shoulders. Almost imagine I'm drawing circles across either side of the room, one direction, and then the other. Now we'll clasp our hands and bring them around the back of our head. Maybe just taking our feet that little bit wider than the hips, and I'll actually turn myself sideways on again. So I'm going to tilt the head back, chin up towards the sky, up towards the ceiling, expanding the elbows away from one another, opening up across the chest and the shoulders. Subtle back bend, lengthening along the spine. As I exhale, I'm going to bring the elbows in towards one another, folding forward and just taking my head down towards hip height. We'll do that a few more times. Inhaling to lift up. Exhaling back down. And really feel as though you're opening up the chest towards the sky, and then rounding the spine towards the sky as you fold forward. We'll do that twice more. Just really following the length of the breath each time you inhale. Start the movement, opening up the body, exhaling as you fold forward, rounding the spine, head nice and heavy, down towards the floor. Okay, we'll bring ourselves back round to the centre again. Let's just see what we're doing next. We'll do a lateral stretch. So we'll just imagine that we're reaching up and plucking one of the apples out of the tree. So we're lifting up to one side, taking the opposite arm down the leg, and then the opposite side to that. We'll do that a few more times. Again, you might not necessarily be able to see the top of my hands in this video. In fact, I might just stand a little bit further back just so you can see me. So really feel as though we're reaching up, extending those fingers away to one side, grounding down through that opposite heel, and lengthening along the side body. And just keeping that top shoulder nice and open, maximising that space across the chest. We'll do that once more on either side. Great stuff, excellent stuff. Okay, what we got next? Let's see. We'll take our fingers now, or palms, and we'll just place them around the back body. So again, I'm turning sideways on. So feet nice hip distance apart, nice little bend in the knees as well. Placing the palms across the lower back, and just start tilting the head back and just allowing the back body just to fall into that support that's being provided through the palms. So elbows have a tendency just to almost draw towards the centre of the body. So just going as far as feels comfortable for you. And then bringing back to a neutral position again. We'll do that twice more. And again, any sharp pain at all for the lower back. And just ease off into the stretch. Do that once more. And then back to centre again. Now bring myself back round to the front. We'll just do a hip rotation. We're keeping our hips facing forward as we're rotating our palms either side of the body. So just tapping the body, just waking up the side body, just allowing the shoulders just to rotate around either side, and maybe even turning the head over that back shoulder, but still keeping those hips facing forward just to maximise the benefit of that twist, that lateral movement to the spine, and maybe even tapping the hands across the top of the shoulders, all the way along the side body, and then down towards the hips again. And bringing them back into a settled position in the centre again. Okay, now let's take our hands into the centre. We'll inhale and lift our arms up and overhead. And we'll exhale and fold forward. Now I'll turn around to the side so you can see me. So really lengthening along the spine, fingers down towards the floor, keeping a subtle bend in the back of the knees just to ease any tension on the back of the legs. Hands to shins on an inhale, exhaling to fold forward, bend the knees, inhale and lift up, and back down to centre. Do that twice more. Inhale and lift up, exhale, fold forward, hands to shins, inhale, exhale, fold, head nice and heavy between the legs, really feeling that length along the back body, bending the knees, inhale and lift up, and back to centre. Do that once more, inhale and lift up, fold forward, really feel as though you're reaching out all the way along towards the fingertips, down towards the floor, hinging at the hips, hands to shins on an inhale, exhaling, fold. And in fact this time we'll keep our knees bent, we'll just wrap our forearms, palms across opposite elbows, and just allowing the body upper body just to sink down towards the floor. And maybe even just rocking from side to side, just to really allow that weight of the upper body just to sink down as much as possible as you deepen into the stretch. Fingers now down towards the floor, bending the knees, inhale and lift up, and back to centre. Okay, I'm going to take myself towards the front to the back. We're going to shift our weight across into the right foot, so the outside of that right foot, and just lift the left heel up, onto the left toes, nice fixed gaze, subtle soft gaze in front of us, maybe down towards the floor, slowly lifting that left leg up, left knee up towards the upper body, lowering it down, left foot across to the side, so outside of the left foot, lifting the right heel this time, fixed point ahead of you, lifting the right foot up, just testing that balance, that focus, that concentration for this morning, and then back down. Now this time as we shift across onto the weight of the outside of the right foot, we lift the left foot up, and we're going to take the left foot towards the back of the mat, so toes still pointing forward. Now if this feels uncomfortable for you at all, then just lower that back knee down. Otherwise, we're going to keep that back knee lifted, and we're going to take our hands down either side of that front foot. Now you see, I've kept a couple of blocks close by. You could easily use some thick books here, just to provide a bit of extra support, just to really maintain that space, that length along the spine, just avoid collapsing down across that front thigh, and maybe even tenting those fingers up just to maximise that space across the chest as well. So really powering down, powering back into that back heel and that ball of the back foot, and just making sure that that front knee is no further forward than the ankle. Okay? So just holding that for a few moments and really allowing the upper body just to sink down, hips sinking down towards the floor along the inside of that front thigh. Now we're going to turn our left foot out towards the side. So as you can see, my toes are now pointing out, and our left toes are pointing out towards the long side of the mat. And I'm going to, on an inhale, lift myself up into that warrior two position that we were in yesterday. So again, maybe adjust the feet just to find a stance that works well for you. I'm going to just heel toe my front foot forward, just to feel that length that we're creating on the inner thighs across the hips, and just bending that right knee over that right ankle. Really feeling that grounding down through the outside of the left foot. And now we're going to lift our arms up at shoulder height. Okay, so forward and back with the fingers. As I said yesterday, sometimes there's a tendency for the upper body to fold forward. So just making sure, straightening that front leg, and then exhaling, bring the hands to the centre and reaching back out again. Twice more. Inhale and lift up. Exhaling back down and reach out. Once more. Keeping those shoulders nice and relaxed, away from the ears. Now we're going to turn our backhand this time, and we're going to round that forward, so down towards the floor again. And this time we're going to frame our front foot and lower that back knee down towards the floor, okay? So again, heel toe in that front foot to a space at which you feel that length along the back and inside of the front leg, and also that deepening stretch now along the inner thigh in the back leg. Option here to lift the hands up onto the front knee, taking the arms out in front, palms facing one another, thumbs towards the ceiling, or on an inhale, lifting the arms up and overhead, shoulders nice and relaxed away from the ears. And just holding that for a few breaths. So really feel again as though the hips are sinking forward and down, feeling that stretch, particularly along the back of the inside of the left leg, the back leg, and then exhaling back down again. We're going to press down through the ball of the left foot, lifting that back knee back up. We're going to rock backwards and forwards until we've got enough momentum to bring the left foot forward. But if that feels too difficult at all, then just taking that knee down, just rolling out towards the side, bringing that left foot back forward again, and bringing yourself back up into a standing position. Okay. So we'll do the same on the opposite side now. So shifting that weight across into the left foot, outside of the left foot, lifting the right heel, hands onto the hips, fixed point ahead of you, just to fix your gaze, nice soft gaze. Lifting that right foot up this time. In fact, I'll just turn it around the other way so I'm still facing towards the camera. So lifting that right knee up, taking the right foot back this time. Oh, actually, right toes facing forward first, sorry about that. Lift blocks as well, not going well. Blocks forward, okay. So we've got right toes pointing forward now, and we're going into this high lunge position again. So option to use the blocks at whatever height, just provide that extra bit of space for the upper body in particular. Powering down, powering back into that right heel, engaging that right thigh, sinking the upper body down, so allowing the left hip just to open up, and also the right. Taking the right toes now out towards the long side of the mat, rounding down through each of the feet, inhaling, lift up, and we arrive into that warrior two position again on the opposite side. Now bend that front knee, that left knee this time, pointing the left knee out towards the little toe side on the left foot, as we extend our arms out, shoulder height, forward and back. Really feeling that length, the space that we're creating across the shoulders, across the hips, but also the strength in the legs to support our foundation. And then turning the palms up towards the sky, inhale and lift up, straighten that front leg, back down again, exhale, and reaching out those fingers again. Inhaling twice more, exhaling back down. Once more, inhaling up, exhaling out. We'll turn that right palm, that back hand, rolling that forward, down towards the floor this time, lowering the right knee down towards the floor. And again, option here, take the hands up onto that front, that left knee, arms out in front, palms facing one another, thumbs towards the ceiling. Inhaling, lift the arms up and overhead, shoulders nice and relaxed, away from the ears. Really feeling that expansiveness, that space that you're creating all along the front body. Subtle back bend as you sink the hips forward and down across that left, inside the left thigh. Exhale as you now take the hands back down, framing the front foot again, powering down through the right foot, so pressing down through the right ball of the foot, lifting yourself back up into that high lunge position, and again, using the blocks if you need them. We'll hold that just for a moment, and then rocking backwards and forwards, and taking the right foot forward to meet the left, and again the option just to roll over onto the side. Now take yourselves back up into a standing position now. Let's see how much time we've got left. Perfect, we're just about bang on time. So we'll just arrive back into that standing position again. Christ, that was hot. Considering I was trying to do a cooling sequence, it's amazing with the heat of the sun coming down on me at this time in the morning, it's still generated a lot of heat. So let's just rock through either side of the foot again as we finish the sequence this morning, forward and back. Closing our eyes, taking our palms again alongside the foot, facing forward, thumbs rotating away. Feeling that grounding down through the floor. Knees and thighs lifting up towards the hips. Lower ribs drawing in, belly button drawing in towards the spine. Really feel as though you're reaching those fingers down towards the floor, as though you can touch them. Down onto the ground. Feeling that length all the way along. Collarbones, down the arms, space across the chest. And length all the way from the crown of the head up towards the ceiling or the sky above. Nice soft gaze, open the eyes. There we are. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you've really enjoyed this morning's session. Pretty hot one. We might not get outdoors tomorrow depending on whether we get loads of thunderstorms and that kind of thing that are forecast at the moment. But yeah, just to kind of, obviously it's about raising awareness and donations for some of the charities that we're supporting over this 6-week summer stretch challenge. Real focus on domestic abuse from the blog that I published last night. Be sure to check that one out. Talks a lot about my experiences, I suppose, in childhood and living in an abusive family environment. Really emotional story. Took a lot to write that one, to be honest, and I really want to get the message out about the fact that these kind of charities like Julian House and Refuge, who provide specialist support around domestic abuse, are really there for people like me, like people in far worse situations than me, particularly during this lockdown period. And if we don't get the money in to support these charities and their emergency appeals, they're either going to have to reduce their services or they may no longer exist, and we just don't want that to happen. So if you've been thinking about donating and just haven't done so yet, then please do so. If you've been saving money on the ETAT to help out scheme that the government has been running, then any of that money they've been saving, maybe think about donating that to the charities as well. Anyway, have a great day, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow.